Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. It's your host Ram on the cricket show, Cricket Happenings, with you all. And welcome everybody to the cricket show. And today's cricket show will include India's ODI series victory, where they blanked New Zealand 3-0, which really augurs well with India hosting the World Cup this year. And also, besides that, we'll talk about the first T20 match that happened between India and where we had a pitch which actually surprised everybody, where India lost the match by I think a margin of 21 runs. At the other end, South Africa. We know that the inaugural South Africa T20 is in full flow. I know, as I told you, there's been a lot of cricket happening. So I'm not basically talking about those things we know in Dubai. We have the inaugural United Arab Emirates T20 going on, Bangladesh BPL going on. BBL is absolutely coming to the business end of it, with Perth Scorchers having confirmed their place in the finals of the Big Bash League 2023 in Australia. And also South Africa, England, as I said. The England players are already there in South Africa, and one was really waiting to watch Jofra Archer. But I have to say, Jofra Archer, even though he played in the South African T20, he has looked a bit rusty out there because he leaked 81 runs, and that is something which is expected. He has been not been in the mix at all, coming back from an injury. But I'm sure Jofra Archer is quite a player that it does not take time for him to really get up back to his best, as we know Jofra Archer as a bowler before he got that injury, especially the World Cup, as you would remember. Another thing, one thing that South Africa has done is that South Africa went on to beat England in the first one-day international at Bloemfontein, and that is something which has done a world of good for South Africa in their quest to achieve automatic qualification for the ODI World Cup, which is coming up in India. So definitely good job there. They won the match by 27 runs. But England had something to, for South Africa, it was Rassie van der Dussen, who is normally very good in ODIs. He made a century. And at the other side, there was one refreshing feature that happened for England, and there was Jason Roy, who has been in the horror form. And despite that, I was thinking that why is he included in the team? And here he comes slamming a century, because I always had an impression after looking at the way Will Jacks bowled, and also he brings the bowling equation also as a right arm offie. So I was, and also Will Jacks is a very good hitter of the ball. So I was precisely thinking that maybe Will Jacks is the one who could replace Jason Roy at the top of the order. But Jason Roy, coming up with goods right away with a century, has really started putting a sort of a question mark now because of his getting into form. Nevertheless, I'm very happy for Jason Roy as he has hit the form at the right time. Let's move on from here. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a very short summary of the India-New Zealand ODI series, which definitely went India's way. India winning the match winning the series in wonderful fashion, blanking New Zealand 3-0, which is really helped matters, no doubt about it. As far as this particular series is concerned, the takeaways, as we call it, would be Shubman Gill. What a matured cricketer he has become. Now it's going to be very difficult, according to me, to remove Gill, because he has done something. He holds a unique record in ODI cricket now, becoming the youngest ever player to score a double century in ODI cricket history. So Ishan Kishan the other day did it against Bangladesh. But, I think Shubman Gill doing it against New Zealand, even though New Zealand didn't boast of some big names like Trent Bolt and Tim Southey, I think I will doff my hat to Shubman Gill at an young age. I mean, making a double century, that is something that we have not really seen, but Shubman Gill has done it. So take a bow, Shubman Gill. And also Rohit Sharma, the captain, he also came up with a century as well. So three openers scoring tons in the series, including New Zealand as well. Michael Bracewell got his maiden second ton as well of the ODI series. I mean, second ton is the first ODI ton he made it against Ireland, so he got it against India. Shardul Thakur pulled it off in the final ODI when they were really looking like. Really giving a sort of a fright to India. It was not to be. Shardul Thakur struck with three wickets. Yes, let's not forget that this particular series, Jasprit Bumrah has been missing, the real bulwark of our Indian team. But look at what Mohammad Siraj has done. I mean, he's making he has been the talk of the series because what he has done is that he has acted as the prime strike bowler in the absence of Bumrah, and he has done what one would have expected. I mean, he has really been the prime strike bowler. Even though he does not boast of extreme pace, but what has been good to see is that he has the ability to move the ball both ways, and also he has perfected a particular delivery called the wobble seam, which is really the talk, and people are also looking at it. And I'm sure the youngsters are looking at it to see how they actually bowl the wobble seam delivery. So definitely a lot of takeaways for India. For New Zealand, well, Bracewell has been, to me, the real talking point, and I think he has a bright future. And definitely, I will be absolutely shocked if Bracewell does not find a place in the scheme of things in the New Zealand team for the ODI World Cup, because he has really proved himself, according to me, whether it be with the bat or with the ball. So that's what I just wanted to dwell on the India New Zealand ODI series. Now we will go on to the first T20 match that happened yesterday between New Zealand and India, the Master Card T20 series. And the first match was being played at Ranchi in Jharkhand. And as we all know, when it comes to Ranchi, one would remember Mahendra Singh Dhoni's name because he is the person it is his hometown. And yesterday, let me tell you, the public had the privilege of seeing their yesteryear star in action, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Not in action really, but really seeing him in front of the whole crowd there. Even he met the cricket players as well. This was the first T20. Now, what was very significant about this particular game was that Ranchi pitch was something that probably in the past, when any matches have been played in Ranchi, one has not seen the pitch behave in such a manner. So yesterday, what happened was something which was really something out of the ordinary, because what happened was the new ball started turning. I mean, the old ball was not really taking the spin. It was the new ball which was doing causing the batsman problems. With definitely the pitch, definitely affording the pitch definitely affording square turn. But as I told you, what was very good about to see, or surprising for everybody to see, was the ball was turning square, and that was and that too. Just believe this. I mean, the new ball was turning absolutely square and taking the batsman by surprise. And it was not an easy pitch to bat on, but India were the ones who actually batted first on this pitch. Probably the toss was also won by India, and the Indian captain, who is Hardik Pandya, the specialist T20 captain, decided to insert New Zealand. The reason he inserted New Zealand is for the simple fact that the dew factor would come in the picture later on in the at night, where in Ranchi we have a lot of dew, and that's the precise reason he decided to push the New Zealand to actually start first. But look at what happened. That totally backfired against India, because what happened was this pitch, as I said, started behaving in a different manner, and on the other hand, it became more difficult for India because New Zealand were the ones actually able to gain a lot out of it. As I said, there were more turn when New Zealand were bowling, and definitely, as we always say, the better team wins. If you look at the margin, New Zealand won by 21 runs. And now look at the New Zealand card there. If you look at the New Zealand card there, well, it was Finn Allen taking off very well, 35 of slamming 25 23 deliveries, which included four fours and two six. So that was a good start as far as the opening was concerned. But even though, but again, if you look at it, when the Indian bowlers were bowling with the new ball, it was not the case. But when the but when New Zealand were bowling after Jacob Duffy, immediately the new captain Mitchell Santner immediately introduced Bracewell and himself, and look at the difference that they made by picking up wickets and bowling with metronomic efficiency. Now, looking at New Zealand, as I said, the opening start was a blazing start. 43 runs were added in pretty quick time. Allen 35 23, four fours, two sixes. Devon Conway just carrying on from the knock that he played in the final ODI, which we all know that Devon Conway is touring India for the not for the very first time, and he made a century. And I'm just going to say one thing here. For me, we all know that Surya Kumar Yadav plays a lot of innovative strokes. Let me give the credit to this one New Zealand player, a very stylish player at that, and he has a shot. We have heard about a scoop, we have heard about a ramp, we have heard about say a dil scoop. We know that Tilakan Dilshan of Sri Lanka, and we also know Surya Kumar, who can actually hit the ball to any corner of the field. But let's talk about this bloke, Finn Allen. And we all know the helicopter shot, which Mahendra Singh Dhoni used to play, and Rashid Khan from Afghanistan now started playing it. But the reason I'm talking about Devon Conway here, I have never seen anyone play a flamingo shot, and this is a really, as I said, it looks so easy on the eye, I would say it's a beautiful shot. Devon Conway, helicopter, yes, it's a good shot, but I think the flamingo shot that Devon Conway plays, I mean, yes, really, I would say I've not seen any other cricket player play a shot which we call the flamingo shot. He has a sort of a nice. I think is that the bat flow is goes in such a manner that it looks like a flamingo, the bird flamingo shot, and the way he plays it. Oh my, it's really an absolute sight to watch. And what an innings he played. He made 52. Probably didn't play any flamingo shot there, seven fours and one six, but he definitely played one flamingo shot in his a ton that he made against India in the final ODI. But definitely, as I said, one, if at all I would associate one shot of the flamingo shot, that would go to Devon Conway of New Zealand. Mark Chapman did not get a good beginning at all. He was totally befuddled by Washington Sundar. Washington Sundar, what a game for Washington Sundar! I mean, first he went to the he actually with the ball. What a bowling performance from him! I mean, he totally throttled the New Zealand batsman. 4 overs, no more than 222. Picked up a wonderful one-handed catch, sprawling onto the ground. That was Mark Chapman. That was a brilliant catch from Washington Sundar of his own bowling. And he's a very tall guy, and this was just pushed to the forward prod by Mark Chapman, and he dived full length, and with his long hands, he managed to cling on to the ball before it touched the turf. So that was some real serious stuff from Washington Sundar, and Mark Chapman was gone for naught. And then danger man Glenn Phillips was a victim of the bowling of Kuldeep Yadav for 17 of 22, one boundary. Michael Bracewell made just one run. He was run out with a brilliant throw by the wicketkeeper Ishan Kishan. Mitchell Santer was out for 7, and then it was left to Daryl Mitchell to see what he can do. And what happened, and the final analysis, if you look at it, that proved to be the big difference, because Arshdeep Singh went on to lead 27 runs of the final over that he bowled, including a no ball, even though he came back hard with three Yorkers. But look at his bowling figures: 4 overs, no maiden, 51 runs, and 1 wicket. 149 for 6 in the 19th over. The New Zealand score galloped to 176 only because of the big hitting from Daryl Mitchell, who was swinging wild and hard, but also very good strokes, one could call. The way he played high elbow when he hit the six, and Daryl Mitchell, finished on an unbeaten 59 of 30 deliveries, which included 5 sixes and 3 boundaries. And looking at the bowling, as I said, Arshdeep Singh, if you look at the final the victory of this by New Zealand, it was by 21 runs, and 27 runs were leaked by Arshdeep Singh in the final over, and that is something that's injustice according to me. One for 51 for Arshdeep Singh. Pandya was also taken for runs, none for 33. Washington Sundar 2 for 22. Deepak Huda none for 14. Umran Malik just bowled the solitary over, was taken for 16 by Devon Conway. 1 for 20 to Kuldeep Yadav, and Shima Mavi 2 overs, 1 for 19. India, given a target of 176, 77 to win the match, did not have a good start at all. And that is the time the surprises started unfolding. Because Mitchell Santner, after just 1 over from Jacob Duffy at the other end, the second over, he thrust the ball into Michael Bracewell's hands. Michael Bracewell probably leaked some runs, but he also purchased wickets. He picked up Ishan Kishan. The ball that he bowled to Ishan Kishan was an absolute beauty. Ishan Kishan was totally, the ball was pitched on a good length spot around the middle stump, and Ishan Kishan was stuck on the crease. He was trying to defend the ball, but the ball had actually defeated the outside edge and went on to hit the off peg. And that was the end of Ishan Kishan. Real beauty of delivery from Bracewell. Rahul Tripathi did not last long. He was dismissed for naught by Duffy as he was caught behind by Conway. And then it required, and also one more wicket fell, which was Shubman Gill. After making 7 runs, he attempted an airy-fairy stroke. He fell to the bowling of Santner, and Santner was the bowler who was making life very difficult for India. Look at the bowling analysis from Mitchell Santner: 4 overs, 1 maiden, 11 runs, and 2 wickets. He was someone who was primarily responsible for India not winning the game, because he really made India rudderless, one could call, with the ball. But Surya Kumar Yadav still played some good strokes on a tricky pitch with 47 of 34, 6 fours, 2 sixes combined with Hardik Pandya, 21 of 21 for 1 6. But Washington Sundar was there fighting till the end. And what a knock from Washington Sundar. He showed the other side of Washington Sundar. We know Washington Sundar is an all-rounder, but the way he played today, oh mine, he even swatted Lockie Ferguson for sixes, and that is something according to me. And Washington Sundar, as I said, he contributed in all departments of the game, and he looks a wonderful talent for the future for India. Washington Sundar, 50 of 28 deliveries, 5 fours, 3 sixes. Other than that, no support whatsoever. Deepak Huda out for 10, Mavi 2, Kuldeep Yadav not. But India finished at 155 for 9. Santner and Bracewell at 2 for 31, 1 for 27, Jacob Duffy, 2 for 13, Lockie Ferguson, 2 for 33 for Ferguson, 1 for 30 for Ish Sodhi. Blair Tickner, 2 overs cost him 23 runs. Now, I'm very quickly jumping away from here. So New Zealand have definitely taken the lead in the first T20 match by winning it in the 3-match series. I very quickly get into a sneak peek, one could call, from the Bloemfontein match, the first ODI between England and South Africa, where South Africa did well for themselves in the quest for the automatic qualification for the ODI World Cup in India. South Africa winning the match by 27 runs. South Africa batting first, totaling up 298 for 7, thanks in the main to Rassie van der Dussen's innings, which was essentially coming in at 1 drop. He scored 111 of 117 deliveries, 6 fours and 1 6, and contributions coming from David Miller with 53 at the end of the order. De Kock 37, Temba Bavuma 36, Klaassen 30, not nothing to talk about. The bowling, as I said, Geoffrey Archer looking pretty rusty, even though he's been playing in the South African T20 mix. 10 overs, no maiden, 1 for 81, 1 for 51, Moeen Ali. Pick of the bowlers, Sam Curran, 3 for 35. England, well, this particular, if you look at the margin of difference here, South Africa won the match by only 27 runs. So Jason Roy, as I said, he was in the horrors of form, has really hit his straps very well. He started off a bit shakily, but once he reached his half century, he was absolutely flowing. And what a knock from Jason Roy, 113 of 91 deliveries, even fours and four, six. It's a sort of a very refreshing feature for England, according to me. At the other end, David Mallon opening the innings with Jason Roy set up a sound platform in the chase, making 59 of 55, 9 fours included. But other than that, Butler contributed 36. There was not much to really talk about, as other than Jason Roy, David Mallon, and Josh Butler, the captain. There was nothing to really do. But also, let me tell you that it was Harry Brook who was making his debut. He was LBW to the best bowler, who was the man of the match. His name, Sisanda Magala. Sisanda Magala of South Africa was named the man of the match, and he did a good job. Harry Brook was making his debut, but he was LBW to Sisanda Magala. But we know Harry Brook is someone who is bound to come and shine in the future. We all know that, but it's just a blip, according to me. Okay, let's look at the bowling figures here. Sisanda Magala was very good. He used his pace very well. He used the shorter ball, and he also bowled some good Yorkers. 9 overs, no win, 46, taking the man of the match award. Even though Enrique Nokia picked up 4 for 62, the reason Sisanda Magala was given the man of the match was because he took the key wickets to really put a spanner into the English works in the chase. Well, dear fans and subscribers, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you on this cricket show. Likewise, I will be coming once again tomorrow, that's on a Sunday, to talk about the happenings in cricket. Yes, we have the second T20 coming up tomorrow, India, New Zealand, the second T20 match, which is going to be a real good one. I think South Africa and England also play tomorrow, but I'm not really sure. That is something I need to confirm. But nevertheless, I'll be back with you all talking on cricket once again on this Cricket Happening show. Until I come back, it's goodbye from here. Thank you.